5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What's up, Fight fans? Welcome to another edition of Wet Boxing 101. I'm your host, LT, also known as Tari, at Warriors Edge Boxing Installations in El Paso, Texas, the 915, coming to you live by Warriors Edge Wet Boxing 101, El Paso's Las Cruces, Ciudad Juarez, first boxing podcast dedicated to the amateur world, but also dedicated to the pro world of Boxing USA. That's right, folks. Folks, don't forget to follow us on YouTube right now, going live in a bit, and on the El Paso's publication, online publication, The Boxing Reporter, bringing to you the latest news in boxing, and where we transmit our live feed and our live guest on The Boxing Reporter. And I'm going to go live right now on The Boxing Reporter in 3, 2, 1, and the live video has begun. And today, folks, on the show is Mr. Victor Apodaca from Vago Promotions, and we're going to talk all about Vago Promotions and what it's all about. As you can see him live. Victor, welcome to the show.
Hey, Tree, thank you. I appreciate it. It's been an honor. I'm excited. I've been pumped all week.
That's awesome, man. And you know what? You're one of those guys, man, that we see on Facebook, and you're always pumped, man. You know.
We need to get him a headgear.
Yeah. Pumped up to go fight.
I'm just a very happy-go-lucky guy. I just enjoy life, and I don't like to be down. Just move forward, have fun. Life's too short.
Of course, life's too short, right?
Life's too short, dude.
Yeah, man. So, hey, man, welcome to Warriors Edge Boxing.
Well, thank you. I really very happy for the invitation.
Yeah, good, man. You're on the number 48 podcast.
Number 48.
Yeah,
I gotta get a jersey, number 48.
Yeah, you're on our 48 podcast. We've had the likes of Ponce de Leon.
Yeah,
that boy. He's been here. Ray Mancera from the WB's chairman.
Yeah.
We've had Camacho Jr. on the show as well. So we've had a lot of people on the show there where you're sitting, man. And it's not only the boxing fighters, it's the boxing aficionados, fans that make the sport just like you.
Well, yeah, there's a lot, there's a lot of moving parts, in any kind of event, especially boxing sports, and I've been fortunate to be a little kind of part of that gearbox, and it's fun,
Yeah.
Sometimes it's even more fun behind the scenes.
Yeah, you're right, man. And you know what? Like I said, it's not only the boxing people, it's the boxing aficionado. And always, folks, like always, my right-hand man is Mr. the former prize fighter, heavyweight fighter, as tough as nails, the Hitman, Herman Delgado. Herman, welcome to the show.
What's up, Tree? Thanks for throwing in that Hitman.
Yeah,
Shay loves that.
Yeah, the Hitman. Can you tell Victor why they call you the Hitman?
Oh, they call
Tell me a little story about you.
The whole thing about I fought in the Golden Gloves back in 1980. It was 1981, and Fred Herrera from either the Herald Post or the Times, I don't remember. He saw me fight, and he thought I was only 147 pounds, and he thought I was lanky like Thomas the Hitman Hurst, so he nicknamed me Hitman. And Pat Devlin stuck with that. I never used that name, period. When I filled out my paperwork, I never used the Hitman.
I was going to ask you if it was you call me the Chicano Tiger Woods. Are you the Chicano
Tiger Woods? Yeah, I was just a Chicano Hitman, and it stuck with me. I mean, everybody called me that, and I never used it myself, though.
You brought back just like a flashback. There at the surf club, the gasoline alley.
Big Wally's.
Big Wally's. And people don't remember that they actually made like cement stadium there.
They built
and they used to have fights, and they had fights there. Yeah. I was like, wow. I mean, how they packed them in there, I will not know.
It was always packed.
Yes.
That's where I got my pro career started.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have Herman in the house, and getting acquainted with Vago Promotions, and nothing to do with the Vagos Motorcycle Club.
No.
Okay, we'll talk.
I didn't even know there was a Vago's Motorcycle Club.
Yeah, there is. It's,
Oh, wow. Yeah.
folks. So let's talk about what's making news in boxing. And you know what, folks, we did promise. We were kind of stalled there for a while, right, Herman, because of the pandemic. So we weren't doing shows, but now we're back, and August seems to be a big month for the boxing world because you know it's at a standstill right now. The kids are not boxing. There's no. Pro boxing is barely getting into the swing of things. They call the bubble with no fans. So we're back. We got a big show even next Thursday. We got Isaac Nathaniel, professional prize fighter. We'll talk to him. What's his future plans also. So we'd like to talk about these new upcoming area fighters. And then also we'll have a special podcast at the end of August with ring announcers. Right, we have Christian Smith from down south of Texas. He's doing the big show this weekend. We'll have him on the show, and then we'll have Aldo Montes on the show, which he's the golden voice of Lucha Libre. Wow! I mean, it's interesting to talk to these people, and then we'll have the voice. Is Arriaga, Aldo Arriaga from Hobbs, New Mexico, which he was our ring announcer for the last Jennifer Hahn fight at the El Paso County Coliseum.
I've heard of it.
It'll be dedicated to the ring announcers, which they play a big part in boxing and in any sport.
Exactly.
Right. The PA, the master of ceremonies, right?
And they keep the crowd going.
Yeah, you know that's how I started in boxing.
Really? You got the voice.
I as a matter of fact, and that's how even me and Herman kind of kicked it off too. Seferino Entertainment for David Rodriguez. He said, "Hey, Tree, you want to do some boxing?" And pound for pound, helped me out. From there, I signed a deal with Showtime Boxing for 3 fights. I did the Jennifer Hahn fights and all that. But you know what? I didn't pursue it because I didn't have fun up there. I love boxing, but I was too nervous.
Well, I mean, people like I've been involved in media for over 40 years in marketing, and I've had fun at it, but it's a job.
It's a job.
Sometimes it's work.
And people were, at the ring, they were looking at me.
Yeah. And So that's why I like
tough crowd.
Dude, that's why I like the behind the scenes.
Yeah. Well, you do great in front of the camera, man.
Well, it's just like I guess my alter ego just all of a sudden came out, man. One day the pandemic caused it.
Yeah.
Man.
Was it that, or you always been like this?
I've been a class clown. Always been a class clown, always the cut up and everything, So I was always, laughing, joking. But and then when I got in college, I got into, media. I had to take journalism classes. You had to learn everything, a director, producer, camera guy, and everything. And I kind of liked, being in front of the camera. Who didn't? I even tried stand-up once. Yes. A long time ago. Yeah.
Hey, so it's also cool about the podcast, folks. If you're hearing the background, there's actually kids working on the gym, right? When you walked in,
hey, this is a hopping place, man.
Right? Everybody's working out, and it's a slow day. I mean, people are working out. They were about to spar, but it was a non-sparring day today. So we're back in the swing of things, and also I say spar. I mean, there's blood, spit. I mean, sweat. But we're still following all guidelines of USA Boxing. We're actually a registered boxing gym through the local boxing commission and USA Boxing, and we gotta follow all the rules.
Cool. I mean, I think that's you were mentioning that everything is finally starting to pick up, and I think it's just everybody is kind of figuring out what this is, the do's and don'ts.
Of course,
you know, and it's kind of great. I mean, I was bored as hell. I'm sorry, the pandemic just
you're right. You're right.
A lot of people that sit out there and it's like can't do nothing because of the pandemic. Wrong answer, man.
No,
you got you open the computer every day and there's bad news, sad news. This and that.
And that's why we do this.
Make life, man.
I agree, and that's why I do doing Vago. Me, it's an opportunity to just get out and be happy, show people that you can have fun.
Yeah, of course.
My big thing is I play golf.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, and then of course, I got a great team, and they come up with great ideas. We did Taco Tuesday, and we got other theme things. And then I also, Vago is a social media agency, so I also have clients, and one of them is Swing Away, Batting Cages, and Performance Center, and I hooked them up. Danny Cemental, the owner, he and I grew up together. So we've always been. Baseball is one of my passions. Sports is my passion.
Man, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah. So then, I come to find out, years later, that he bought this place after he retired. He was a coach at Del Valle, he's led a high school, and he bought this batting cage place before all the franchises started. But, he bought it from another coach. So now I hooked him up with Powerball Bats, which is a locally owned place. They're off of Paisano. They make bats that major league players buy.
Yeah,
they were featured on KVIA.
Yeah,
so we're doing a demo day with them at Swing Away on Saturday. So I'm busy, working. Got to pay the bills.
Local business, huh?
Local. That's what I'm about.
Well, I'm glad you didn't charge us.
No, I'm glad you didn't charge me.
Man, that's pretty good.
Oh, well, hey, I haven't left the place, huh?
Hey, folks, don't forget that this podcast is being presented and sponsored by The Healthy Start. Carlos and Elda, call them up. I'm going to have it on my website, also www.warriorsedgeboxing.com. They have the best meal preps you can tell. They also hooked us up with tonight's snacks. Thank you, Carlos, for coming in and hooking us up. Last week we had Pop's Pizza. We'd like to say hello to Lou Anello and Daniel Ponce Leon, which they just opened Pound for Pound Boxing Gym. Well, first we have our local gyms are back to boxing, Herman.
Yeah, that's good.
Gyms have been finally starting to get back to boxing. Before this pandemic hit, we were coming off fresh off an awesome fucking start with Golden Gloves. The Warriors Edge boxing team did a great outing, and then this pandemic hit. USA Boxing still has in our state, which I don't understand sometimes, if you see it on the screen there, that we are considered orange. You know what I mean? We're still an orange state, which means that there's new restrictions on back to boxing, as you can see the screen there, saying that it's not open, sparring is not open. So what we did, folks, and this is some information that people wanted to know, if you're listening, is that the LBC kind of lifted that and give us the green light to go ahead and do some sparring, of course following safety guidelines. I've tried to call USA Boxing in Colorado, no answers. I've called today, no answers. Why is Texas still orange? I know the new restriction on there. I'm probably because we're like Florida. The COVID cases have risen. Who knows? But we're getting back to boxing, and hopefully we can go back to normality and get back to the Golden Gloves, as we're going to prepare already. Maybe already for next year is probably one of our first tournaments. Herman, what do you think?
Yeah, they were asking me about that. I think February, March, like last year. So
for the Golden Gloves, right?
Yeah, I don't. There's nothing going to happen event-wise this year.
You don't think so?
No, I
don't think so either.
No, I had events planned. I work with the musical events. I do lucha libre.
So you don't know Aldo Montes?
Aldo Montes.
He's the ring announcer we're going to have.
Oh, great. We need I work with Lucha Frontera.
Okay.
And there's a bunch of, as long as the movement keeps going. But we work like with the Coliseum and with also the Civic Center. And basically, everything has been just frozen.
I had Dwight Yoakam tickets.
Yeah,
UTEP canceled their
Fuck,
their
man, I
first
can't
game.
go see Dwight Yoakam. I don't think I'm going to make it. He's probably going to die before I go see him. He's fucking old.
Hey, Willie Nelson.
Yeah, UTEP canceled their
first football game against Texas Tech.
Well, no.
But what's the difference? I mean, nobody shows up anyways.
Well, that one is a realignment.
That was a joke.
Yeah. Well, that one was a kind of like a realignment because it's a shortened season.
It's the second time they
because Texas Tech, it's not UTEP. Texas Tech has the option to cancel.
Yeah.
Because they're the bigger school. They're the ones with the most money.
Right.
And because they also with UT Austin. Okay, so that was like up in the air. So they're limited to so many games now this year. So that's why they're like, okay, this game or UTEP, I will go with these guys. Yeah.
Oh,
You
okay.
can't blame them.
And what I heard also is that they're not going to meet Texas Tech till 2028.
Correct.
Wow, man,
Yeah.
that would have been big money for UTEP. But
It's big bucks, man.
Big
We're
bucks,
talking
man.
money, yeah.
And this, I heard also UConn canceled their whole football season.
There's
And stand by. UTEP. This game got canceled, but I have a feeling they're going to cancel the whole season.
I don't think so.
I
yeah,
think so.
no, well,
Wow.
they'll probably follow suit with New Mexico and move everything to the spring.
Okay.
New Mexico is not doing any sports
This
until
year.
February. Correct.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think that's a wise move. Why? I mean,
How come that's a wise move and not sending the kids to school a wise move?
Well, because of contact. But then I saw that picture of everybody in the hall.
Georgia, yeah.
In Georgia.
That
Atlanta?
looked
Yeah.
like
Like a party, like a
Yeah,
club.
nobody had one mask, dude.
Nobody had a
Exactly.
And they're kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we're going to go back to school.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here's something that's making headlines, and I know when I talk about this, the hitman's going to really lay out the law on people. Mexican greats. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is going to go back to part 3 against Jorge Arce in their big exhibition fight that was very successful when they did it.
Not Junior. You said Junior.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
Junior is fighting.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
it's
but-
Julio Cesar Chavez against Travieso number 3.
Correct.
Will face each other for the third time in the exhibition fight at the Grand Hotel in Tijuana. It will
Yeah.
take place September 25th behind closed doors on a pay-per-view streaming. The event was officially announced at the Coffee Tuesday WBC's weekly podcast. Right, the Grand Scholarship to Young People will also. But in that, also in action is Julio's sons, both of them.
Both of them.
Julio Cesar
Yeah.
Chavez Jr. will have an exhibition fight, while Omar Chavez will have an official 8-rounder. The transmission will be high definition through Super Boletos. Herman, what do you think of that?
Who wants to see those guys, man?
And
And
then-
the father, I mean, as old as he is, he still throws some good chingazos. But the sons, I don't know about Omar, but as far as Chavez Jr.,
Yeah.
you can forget about
The
that.
last time
He's
he
a
just
clown,
looked
man.
he looked
He's a
pathetic.
clown.
When
And
he
they
did it-
overweight, pathetic. It just
Well, he quit against
Yeah.
Daniel
Yeah,
Jacobs
and then he's banned from Vegas,
and Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, because he didn't do the drug test.
Because they're still going to test him, and he's pending that. And recently they asked him again, and he declined. So they indefinitely will never fight in the state of Arizona and never fight in the state of Nevada. In the Daniel Jacobs fight, where we saw it here, Herman, Chavez was doing pretty good.
Yes,
But
was.
he quit.
He was. Yeah, he
He
quit.
was doing good, and he quit.
Yeah, and this is probably, in my opinion, a fault of the pandemic. People are running out of money. You got old
This
guys.
exhibitions?
Yeah, I mean they don't do anything for free.
Yeah, now you got you also have Roy Jones and Tyson. That's a joke, man.
That's a joke.
That's a joke. And it's like saying we're going to have the 1984 Dallas Cowboys against the 84 49ers.
Orale.
Catch.
Orale.
Yeah.
They're going to play
Come on
again.
back. Dwight Clark died already.
Yeah.
he died.
That's
yeah,
the way.
Yeah,
But,
Wow, yeah, but you're
they
right.
probably buried him with the damn football.
Yeah, and in boxing, I mean, old is 30, late 30s, man. You know what's old in boxing?
Oh no, late
30s,
20s or even.
When Ali fought Holmes, he was like 38.
Yeah.
And that was considered real old.
Very
Yeah,
old.
but he had a hiatus.
Yeah.
So he was reason to extend his longer than anybody else. What, he didn't fight for 5-6 years, something like that?
And then you
How
have
many Bernard
then you have,
Hopkins?
Yeah.
George Foreman comes back at 40-some years old.
So it's
Yeah.
clearly, man, guys, that these guys are coming back because of maybe the pandemic, because they need money. It was an exciting Chavez Travieso part 1 and part 2, but you know what? I don't want to see it no more. Maybe to say boxing, Roy Jones and Mike Tyson. Oh fuck, man, it's
You
probably
don't
going to
think
be
you-
pay per view.
We're just at no mamin status right now.
You don't think that's going to be
No,
at
I
least
don't think so.
entertaining to a
No,
point?
I don't
Well,
think so.
we're
I
gonna
wouldn't- I
watch
wouldn't-
it.
At $49.95, no thanks.
Yeah, it's $50.
$49.
Really?
I mean,
Yeah.
I think they should have that fight as an under exhibition show card under big fights.
Or a big fight, yeah.
Like on the let's watch it under the Tank Davis Leo Santa Cruz fight. Fuck yeah, I'll watch those two guys fight. I
mean, the thing is too. I mean, why so high? I mean, you want more people to watch it, and bring it down to
Yeah.
$25, man.
yeah, exactly. But I mean, yeah, $25, $20.
Yeah.
I mean, unless they're gonna put it like on the undercard of a big fight, then we'll pay for everything.
Correct.
Fuck it. You know what I mean? How about Sean Porter's making news as well, folks? He's
Yeah.
facing a German-like soldier, guys. Showtime Porter returns to the ring August the 22nd. He's going to face German Sebastian Formella, which is, again, it's a silver, here we go, silver welterweight title. What the fuck's this? Here's all these silver, golds. This guy is undefeated, but he's an unknown. It's likely to take place at the Downtown Theater Center in Los Angeles. And again, it's going to be one of the first of PBC cards. If you notice, PBC came to El Paso recently. Porter is 30-3, and he's won the WBC welterweight belt he defeated Danny Garcia, which is making news again.
Yeah.
And it was a very close fight, but I've always liked Sean Porter, man.
Yes.
He is very good. Before being narrowly defeated, right, in September, right? So it's a great fight. We'll see it. What do you think of Sean Porter coming back? And have you heard of Sean Porter?
Oh
What do you
yes,
think?
I follow it.
What do you think of?
I like him. He's aggressive. He just goes after you, man. He's a pit bull. He's a pit bull.
And you know what? He's an
boxer.
exciting fighter.
Yeah.
Right, Herman?
Well, you know who's coming back? Speaking of exciting, but it's more his mouth. Broner.
Yeah.
That if he gets down to lightweight.
If he gets down to
Come
lightweight,
on,
come on, man. But these guys will be good. It'll be a good Fox. There's going to be Fox fights this weekend, but this will be good for PVC cards at the downtown without fans. So I mean, it's boxing without fans. I mean, some fighters like it, some fighters don't. But we're gonna get to see Sean Porter because he's in that division, folks, where it's so exciting. It's a tough, exciting divisions where these guys come out. Who knows? You never know. That German can fucking surprise us, right?
Correct.
I mean, Sean Porter's coming back up. Christy Martin Promotions, and we're talking about Christian Smith. I want to say hello to Christian Smith, man. It's an exciting evening of professional boxing, August the 15th in Daytona Beach, Florida. Right, Christy Martin Promotions presents the first installment of Pain Boxing. They'll have several different bouts to include Francisco Torres will be on that. And in boxing circles, folks, the name Christy Martin is iconic. Right,
I remember.
Right. Martin was featured on the Sports Illustrated cover in 1996, as you see on the screen there. Put female boxing actually on the map. Let me ask you, Victor, what do you think of female boxing?
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, it's entertaining. I mean, I think, women have a right to compete in everything, but I just think that as long as they meet the qualifications and it's not not a show, but it's a true boxing match. Like Jennifer. Jennifer's a boxer,
Jennifer's awesome.
man.
Yeah.
I love to see her box. That kind of, but it's hard. There's not a lot of women out there.
Just recently, women's boxing has came up to the ranks of even putting them on a major card, like in Showtime. We got Carissa Shields. We got a lot of them, right? Brachias.
You got Clarissa Shields. She's got about 5 belts already and only has like 3 fights.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
No, there's not enough girls to fight.
Exactly.
Now, do you think MMA is what really has maybe open the door that way? I think
for boxing women.
Well, no, women in contact sports.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as you can see, it's always been in sports.
Sure.
What's happened in the sport of boxing when we talk about women is that the promoters have not given them a chance.
True.
And let me tell you, here I go. I mean, basketball. I don't want to see women play basketball. It's boring. That's just my opinion. But if you see the women box, it's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, they really lay it on the line.
Ali's daughter was a good one too.
Yeah, I mean, there's some very good fighters out there. And we talked about a female fight last week. Remember the one that got?
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous.
I mean, it was a ridiculous knockout in 7 seconds. But
3.
Well, no, 7. You're right, 7 seconds.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy. And we talked about that. Was it Golden Boys? Was it the Zone?
Golden Boy.
Was it the trainers? Was it her? Was it a payday? It was $10,000 to get almost killed.
He's a promoter. He needs the.
And in our last podcast, we really talked about it, right?
Yeah.
We talked about that knockout. But I mean, I really like women in boxing. It's just an exciting, even in the amateur world. Christy Martin was the first female inducted in the Boxing Hall of Fame in 2016. She actually paved the road for fighters like Carissa Shields. Of all her many accomplishments, it happened in 2010 when she was beat to death after her former husband tried to murder her.
Yeah.
Right? And she was really beaten. She was a tough son of a gun. Right? So she's now promoting. She's going to have, and our friend from down the valley, Christian Smith, will be announcing those fights.
Maybe this is an opportunity. Maybe she can be a champion for women boxing, and if she's going to be a promoter, then
you never know,
maybe turn it around. That'd be cool.
That'd be cool, man. What do you think, Herman? I think we put those. Speaking of women boxers, that Jerry Stites was tough on her Jennifer Hahn, huh?
Yeah, she's tough.
She trained here.
Yeah.
She came from St. Louis, Missouri. She was a tough. God, man. Did you see that fight at the Coliseum?
There's some girls I wouldn't go up against.
Yeah, no, she was tough.
She was tough, man. She was a very good fighter.
Jennifer was just too much that day.
Yeah, too fast. But Jerry Stites was a tough. Everybody thought she was going to get knocked out in the first. Hell no, they went the distance.
They went the distance.
It was a very good, exciting fight. We co-promoted that fight, Warriors Edge Boxing Promotions, along with Golden Eagle Promotions. Shout out to my boy Tony Aguilar out there in Artesia. Angelo Leo is making headlines, and the
Yeah.
reason why I'm even talking about this kid is because I don't want to consider him here, but he's around here, man. Albuquerque, New Mexico,
3.5 hours away.
Yeah, newly crowned, and it was an exciting fight last week, and it was exciting because it was one of the first championship Showtime boxing, and he fucking headlined it. He's the new featherweight champion. We'd like to congratulate you, Leo. He spoke about winning against Terem Williams, right? It feels good. It still hasn't sunk in yet. It's surreal for this young kid from New Mexico that he beat. And if you have in New Mexico coming out of, you think of 4 world champions in Albuquerque,
That's
which
right.
is one of them is what?
Tapia.
Johnny Tapia, and
Damn
you were the
right.
trainer of Johnny Tapia. Name me one interesting thing when you were training Johnny Tapia that you can remember.
He was just always hyper, man. He was just fired up.
Hard to go.
He was,
Yeah,
hard to
he
go,
that's all. I
absolutely.
met him.
But that guy
at,
was never at. You could never like sit down and relax. No.
yeah, I met him in Barnett, Harley Davidson.
You did?
Yeah,
Johnny Tapia?
he did an appearance there with Butterbean.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
We had his wife on the show here, and man, it was
nice
very
lady.
interesting.
Yeah,
She's going into promotions too.
Yeah, you know.
Well, when you think about world champions, you also think about Holly Holm. You have to KO'd
Yeah.
the shit out of what was her name? I don't like MMA. Sorry. Who? Yeah, Roundy Rousey.
Yeah.
Holly Holm becomes a fighter, and she knocks
She
her out.
knows her
right?
stuff.
And then also
Danny Romero?
Danny Romero was good.
yeah,
right?
Danny.
Danny
Got
Romero.
Austin Trout.
Danny was another one that I was working at Barnett. When he fought here and he won and bought a freaking Harley, man.
Danny
Cash.
Romero.
Yeah.
Danny Romero.
Danny
So,
Romero.
many congratulations to the big New Mexico fighters out there. Again, Holly Holm, Austin Trout, and then, of course, now our featherweight champion, Leo, is on the map. So, congratulations.
Cool, yeah.
Ed. And it was so awesome because it was telecast on Showtime Boxing. It was awesome, right? Moving right along in boxing, folks. And don't forget, this podcast being sponsored by Healthy Start, and our guest today is Victor Vago Apodaca. We're coming live from the Warrior's Edge boxing facilities, sharpening the Warrior's Edge with Mr. Herman Delgado, I'm Tree, and Vago Apodaca. So glad you're here with us, folks. And if you're live, Lee Lou Blank is on there, Aaron Pierce. So glad you could be with us here today on the podcast. Moving right along for boxing news before we get to all the good questions and rapid fire. How about this big fight coming up? I'm a big, huge Earl Spence fan. Saturday, November 21st. Earl Spence is back. It's a done deal. I'm back, ready to fucking go. Here we go,
Spence is
ladies
gonna
and
take him
gentlemen.
This one I'll pay to watch.
This
Spence
is gonna
is
be
gonna
This one I'll pay to watch.
I think Spence is gonna finally.
yeah.
That's
You think so?
Take a seat.
I think Garcia, man, he always digs down and he gets it done, man.
I mean, you know what? It's unfortunate what happened to Spence, and it's interesting because he's
accident.
been let off almost 2 years. He's still the WBC IBF welterweight champion. We're gonna see him after his big accident. Who knows how that jaw? Because he actually hurt his jaw pretty bad.
Yeah.
And of course, Garcia is a former champion. I'm not gonna take nothing away from him, but they're gonna collide. And these are the fights we want to see. Thanks for PBC to putting them on. And this is, like you said, Vago. This is a fight we want to see, right?
This is good. I mean, Danny's taken he's had some tough bouts, man,
yeah.
and he's taken some shots. So he knows how to hang in there. And Spence, I don't know much about him, but man,
He's from Texas.
Yeah, well, anybody that has gone through a tough accident like that, and he's willing to get back in the ring, you know what?
With a tough guy, too.
Exactly.
It's
Tough
not just
guy.
It's not an easy bout, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, and you got to remember, Spence could pick David Haney, Sean Porter. I mean, it's just so stacked,
Oh, that division is crazy,
yeah,
man.
I mean, and now
well,
it's
you got
gonna be-
Canelo in there too. don't
No,
you?
not Canelo.
No, that's
that
the other
division.
one.
We're going to talk about Canelo
Yeah.
in a while.
She's in a different division.
Yeah. Hola. I like the way this conversation is
in
gonna
a
go.
different division. Fucking Canelo, when are you gonna? He's not
He's
gonna.
gonna fight.
Don't even get me
Well,
started,
David
man.
mentioned De La Hoya.
No, Pacquiao. No, Triple G is gonna hit Pacquiao.
It's just becoming a joke with that guy.
Well, let
They
me
wanna
tell you
just
something,
give him
man.
the
Yeah.
throw him easy meat, man.
Look, now we're going to jump into Canelo, but I mean, again, folks, don't forget Saturday, November 22nd, Earl Spence, Danny
That's
Garcia. We'll have a special podcast for that. Again, here we go, folks. It's a big fight coming up. But let me kind of sidetrack here before we go to our next news. Canelo Alvarez, the guy that he's going to fight, and the guy that we want to see, folks, is the WBA super middleweight champion of the world. Right? He's 27-0. Right, and he won the Super Series super middleweight. He stopped George Groves in 7 rounds in 2018. Since that, he's been awesome, guys. is Caleb Smith.
Yeah.
Caleb Smith is a tall, super middleweight titleist. He's tough as nails. That's the fight that Canelo needs to take. And Eddie Hearn, the promoter, is pushing so hard to get Canelo and Caleb Smith on the damn ring. Because if that doesn't happen, I don't want to see another. I don't want to see David Benavidez on the table. All those. Or Dimitri Bivol. That guy is tough also. That's the other one that can face Canelo. Dimitri Bivol is a WBA light heavyweight titleist, but I don't know if they go for Bivol. He's a little bit heavier than Canelo. But you know what? Canelo needs to step it up. If he wants to fight Triple G again, let him fight Triple G again.
You know, he really hasn't, you know, if he wants to say he's, you know, pound for pound, one of the best fighters, we'll show it. I don't think he really has.
He hasn't
shown me a fight. You know, I was, you know, you know, when you asked
caliber
me,
of opponents.
Well,
caliber
even
of
the Triple
opponents.
G,
Come
the
on.
two Triple G, I was
fought Triple G, man.
yeah, but
Triple G beat him.
I did. I agree.
The
Well,
first
first time, yeah.
Yeah.
I just think that, you know, these guys, I don't know, are they saving themselves? They don't want to, you know. I remember the old, I mean, the ones and twos bouts that, man, would go like to death. When it was the 12, 15 round matches.
You guys like Marvin
Hagler or Barrella, you know, those
Eric
were,
Morales,
Eric
Marco
Morales,
Antonio
Marquez.
Barrera.
you know,
Manuel
those were
Marquez, Manny
exactly.
Pacquiao.
I just Canela, he really hasn't put it on the line.
No.
They've also other fighters on the stable there for Canelo have been Munguia, the Mexican huge middleweight. That's big. Another one. Triple G will not be this year or even early next year. Triple G will be facing his mandatory IBF challenger, which is Camille Remeta. Right? That'll be an entertaining fight, but not much for Canelo. Canelo will pretty much take him. As you know, Canelo is going to be on his fourth fight without the God, I forgot his last name, his last trainer that he had. But those are the fighters that I think, folks, that Canelo needs to fight. Even if he faces Bivol by decision. Other ones on the table is the Phoenix Kid, David Benavidez, Billy Joe Saunders. I don't want to see Billy Joe Saunders against Canelo, but who knows? They might even get him. As you all know, the southpaw boxer, he's inconsistent. And, of course, in late March, the British Boxing Board suspended Saunders as he posted a video on social media on degrading women, and this is how you beat the shit out of a woman, and he was hitting the bag. He's a scumbag, man, and that's why he got suspended. But he's back, and I hope Canelo beats the shit out of him and he fights him. But those are my Canelo predictions, guys. I'm sorry. He needs to fight Caleb Smith. Go Caleb Smith. Here we go. Canelo needs to fight.
Who's that other kid from Vegas?
David Benavidez. Oh, Caleb Plant too.
That's another.
That's another, and he's not even on the list here, man.
He's a badass.
He is a badass, man. He is a badass. Moving right along, folks. How about this kid right here? He looks like my son, Ryan Garcia.
Oh,
right, Ryan Garcia.
Tough guy. I was reading about him.
He's a very tough guy, right? Garcia's profile has gotten big enough that it's time to see if he's going to sink or swim. This guy, if you don't know about this guy, he's been criticized a lot because he really hasn't fought nobody, and he's already at the elevation level of great proportions. And a lot of people, I like the kid, man. He's either going to sink or swim. He needs to fight somebody hard. He talks a lot about in social media. He wants to convince that he is the fighter. He might be fighting Campbell. That's one of his. Luke Campbell might be a big opponent for him. And you know what? For me, in my opinion, Vago and Herman, I believe that this is a great step for Ryan Garcia if he wants to face Luke Campbell. It's a perfect opponent for him. If he wins, he earns the respect that he really needs. This kid needs respect, man. You know, if Garcia, again, if he wins, this is big time for him. He starts gaining big opponents.
Well, that's the sign of a good boxer. I mean, when you start him in, you get him with some experienced guys to get some training, you know, get the rounds, you know.
Yeah.
But then after about the third or fourth one, then let's put him up against a junkyard dog and see what he's going to do.
I mean, Garcia is a champion, and he needs to get up there and step up to the plate. He's a very upcoming fighter, but I believe that it's what affects him is that, you know, Chapo Reynoso is his trainer. He's with Canelo. He's elevated. He's known to be cocky, but you know what, man? My kudos to that kid. I think he's gonna do great things. I still have him in my pot. I mean, he is my fighter right now. I like Ryan, and not because he looks exactly like my son. but he's moving up there, man. So
Great.
Ryan Garcia, my kudos to you. Here we go. Well, here we go, right? As the sports continues to pick up amid the coronavirus pandemic, some of the fights added to the boxing schedule of the second half of the year are really head scratchers, like the Mike Tyson return to the ring after
That's
15 years
hilarious.
away at the age of 54.
Dude, but he's in shape, man.
And 51-year-old Roy Jones,
Jones.
too, right? Tops the list as head scratchers, right? And then also Gervonta Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz. A lot of people have been
I love
saying
Santa
that
Cruz.
Leo Santa Cruz is washed up. He's done. And I really believe that Tank's going to beat him. What do you think about that?
It could, because Santa Cruz he's taken some really bad, strong shots, man. Some really tough fights.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think, Herman?
I think Tank's going to take him, knock him out.
I think Tank will. I think it'll be a late stoppage, but Tank will win. So we're talking about, Leo Santa Cruz, Gervonta Davis, Earl Spence, Danny Garcia. What is left for this guy on my screen? This is the champ. All right, guys. And you see he has all the belts, and he has the one that's recognized as the Ring Magazine belt. So where does that leave Terrence Crawford there? Because even Pacquiao is out. Because if Spence wins, he can face Pacquiao. But in the mix, Pacquiao's in the mix even to face fucking Triple G. So where does that leave this man that, you know what, Ed, I know you're listening to me. Ed, tough motherfucker that spars Danny, right? Man, he's a tough kid. I know you're gonna hate me for this. I don't think he's a true caliber fighter, Ed. I'm sorry, man. But where does Terrence Crawford go from here? And the reason, my friend, he is in this position is because he doesn't step up to the mic, to the platform. I'll tell you what, Ed, these are the opponents that I have him facing. He can face fucking Kell Brook, which I don't like. Kell Brook, his orbital was broken by Triple G, beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Sean Porter can face Terrence Crawford, right? And Keith, one-time Thurman that got his butt kicked from Pacquiao. Terrence Crawford needs to leave Omaha.
That would be a good one, because I think Thurman, he wants to come back.
Redeem himself,
Redeem
right?
himself. He got beat by a short, older man.
Yeah, but he's not just any short old.
Oh no, he's got a punch, but
beat
see,
by
but
a
you know,
by the legend.
by the legend. So
Motherfuckers.
Thurman was on a rise. He was like a rocket going up, and then he hit a little meteor, man.
Well, man, he got overconfident.
Yeah, you're going to get your ass kicked in.
By a legend.
By a legend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I got beat by a legend.
I got beat by a legend.
And you know what? The word is out there. If Triple G fights this guy after that, they might face Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao wants to do one of his last fights. That'll be. Everybody's saying that is suicidal. I don't know, man. Triple G is a
he's
wrecking
too much.
machine.
I think Triple G's too much for Pac-Man.
Well, I don't know.
I'm
about
telling
the
you.
legend.
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
It's a whole
that
different
would be.
level.
I wouldn't mind seeing that one.
It would be great to watch, but I just think it's to a point where, you know what, if Juan Manuel Marquez can sit his ass down,
Yeah.
imagine what Triple G's power
Well,
can
yeah,
do.
well, Juan Manuel Marquez
Yes.
really stepped into
That's
that
one.
punch, man.
That's one of my favorite fighters.
But then again, it's a head scratcher because, man, you just don't know what Pacquiao's going to show up, man. I mean, Keith
I
Thurman
think-
has a big punch.
Yeah, and that's some boxers are known for that. You know, they don't show up.
Yeah.
And they'll say,
Like
I didn't have
Canelo
it.
against
I didn't have
Sergey
it.
Kovalev.
Yeah.
Kovalev didn't show up,
Oh yeah, Cola.
right?
Talking
Yeah.
about the quitter, the one that
And then he asked for his autograph after he was beat up.
the guy asking for autographs.
Yeah,
and
man. I
pictures.
mean, so Ed, I'm sorry, buddy, but yeah, I know we come to the gym and we talk a lot of shit about this, but man, I mean, he has all the bling bling and the belts, and he has also Ring Magazine. When the fighter has a Ring Magazine, my respect, folks, but man, we gotta.
is that making comments?
Yeah, he's making
Oh,
comments.
man. Come on, Ed, go to sleep.
He's all, come on, Tree. I'm not. Look, man, the Ring Magazine is a recognized belt, but who has he fought, my friend?
You're
He
right.
needs to get out there and fight people, man. Let him get into the PBC, into that platform of fighting. Terrence Crawford, I'm going to tell you, why don't you fight in El Paso, man? We want Andy Reese to fight at the Sumble. That'll be fucking awesome. A lot of people will sell at the Sumble, right?
Well, you
Hell
know,
yeah.
the
We will
Haskins
sell
Center
out
is
the
not that
Sumble,
bad.
man.
Yeah, I remember that.
We will sell out the Sumble like it's going out of style, man. Like when De La Hoya had a championship fight here, right?
That was the one that said, it was a Larry Merchant that said, what the hell is that?
He had a what did he call it? He didn't call it a mariachi. He called it a something else outfit.
outfit.
Yeah, he called
Some
it
type of outfit.
Some call it an outfit. That
Some
was
Mexican
really
outfit or
yeah,
something,
yeah.
Oh, let's all kneel for that now. Don't get me started. Anyway, Terrence Crawford. So there you go, my friend.
Yep.
I like Terrence Crawford, but man, he needs to. So one thing that I heard is that the Ring magazine is the true recognized belt. Okay, the other ones are all the WBA, WBC. Politics are involved in it. But now, guess who owns the Ring magazine? Oscar De La Hoya.
God.
What doesn't he
That
own?
shit, man.
Man.
That guy's the Mexican Don
he's going
King.
to take the belt, but
Yeah.
it's okay. That's what Ed told me. I'm still yet to investigate that because that belt right there is the true. Whoever rolls the belt, those are the true champions, man. And I'm not going to take nothing away Ed from Terrence Crawford. He is a true champion, but buddy, he needs to get out and fight. I wish he would have fought Earl Spence. I didn't want to see him with Danny Garcia. Damn it! He's got to fight Earl's. The true Spence fighter from Texas, baby. All right, I'm out for that. Hey, thanks for listening, Ed. I love you, bud. I'll see you at the gym pretty soon. Folks, we're here at the Web Boxing Podcast having a great time with Vagos and Herman Delgado. We're just talking boxing, getting excited, ready to go, man, for this weekend. Got big fights on Showtime. And also, we got a lot of boxing news coming up with the Tyson Jones and then Earl Spence, Danny Garcia. So, folks, and don't forget to know that this podcast is being sponsored by The Healthy Start. And you know what about them? If you're into meal preps, they deliver. And they deliver anything you want.
That's kind of up my alley. I don't do much cooking anymore.
Yeah, and I mean, he does great if you're into anything. I mean, it's steaks, mushrooms, salmon, you name it. And if you're into pizza, you can go to Pop's Pizza. Pelicano,
Cool.
Pop's Pizza, the best pizza in El Paso.
We need I'm a West Sider for it, so I need a West Side.
You live on the
connection.
West Side, Vago?
Yes.
We got Vago on the house, folks. So, Vago, tell us about you growing up. Where are you from? West Side?
No.
Okay.
Actually, I grew up. I'm born and raised here in El Paso. My grade school, I went to Ramona off of North Loop over there by Phelps Dodge. My dad retired from Phelps Dodge for 25 years. So he went in right after the Korean War.
Wow.
When his stint.
And now it's Western Refinery.
It's not even Western Refinery. It's free something. It's good, yeah. But then my parents got divorced when I was like in the 5th grade, and we moved in with my grandmother, and she lived by Jefferson High School by the Coliseum. So I went to La Jeff.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and then I went to UTEP, and straight out of college, I graduated in '83. I graduated from high school in '76. And I've just been in the media business for over 40 years.
Was that something you always liked to me?
Oh, yeah, I got hooked. I've been in radio, TV, cable, done it all. Been a marketing director with Simon Property Group. That's the Cielo Vista Mall people. I was talking to a friend, and I'm 62 years old. And it's funny, but I've practically been through every evolutional technical change in media.
Wow.
I mean, TV, there was only 3 stations. You remember? I don't know how you probably, Herman, you remember?
Thank you.
I was the remote.
Yeah,
I was the remote, dude.
This guy's a youngster.
Yeah, he's a youngster, and that was the antenna and the remote, right? And then I went in. There was color, because we started in black and white. Then we went to color TV. Then we went cable. Wow, MTV.
brown box.
Yeah,
Box.
I used to do the double.
Yeah.
and then you get the fuzzy HBO.
You could hear the sound.
Yeah, and then
Porno.
so then even the fax machine, beepers, cell phones, internet, email. I've been through all that, so I'm like, now so social media, hell, I'm having fun.
Right now that you mentioned that about the fax machine, I was in the Navy. It would take 6 minutes per page to send a fax.
All curly, and then you couldn't
It would go
uncurl
to the
it.
machine
You
all the
couldn't
way to
uncurl
like
it.
Hawaii.
Yes.
So that was back in 1983.
Dude, the internet has not been around that long.
No.
We had, when I worked at Simon Property Group, we had intranet, so we could communicate within each other, and that was in the early 2000s. So, things just like boom, just blew up. The pandemic has caused
just
a lot.
imagine if when Jones was there, Tyson. Imagine if there was internet. I mean, if there was Facebook and social media, these guys would have been making billions, man.
Yeah.
But pay-per-view went
Closed
back
circuit?
closed circuit. I remember the Ali Frazier
Or the Chavez
fight.
Hoya fight.
Yeah, I mean,
at the
it was-
Civic Center.
At the Coliseum. At the Coliseum.
Ed just responded. I know you're there, Ed. I'm sorry. He said, nevertheless, Spence versus Crawford is the best fight. I know. I picked Bud Crawford to beat all the welterweights. Holy shit, Ed. There you go again.
Strong
Man,
words.
talking
Wrong with that
shit,
guy.
man.
Strong
Hey, you know
words.
what? Ed, who comes out inspired, he's a tough dude, man.
Really?
Yeah, he is.
So, Ed, I'm glad you're on the show. So, okay, now here's a story, Victor. Tell us about Vago's promotion and why are you called Vago? Vago means
Well,
travieso.
it's double meaning.
Okay.
First, because I thought long and hard about this. Because my first company, I recently became self-employed, and my main company is called Ask Vic. Okay.
That's
And
like a
ask me, pregúntame.
like what?
Well, it's let me show you. It's because I'm a
Like Angie's List?
well, kind of. I wanted to come up with I'm a marketer, so I wanted to come up with a clever, company name. So just ask me, Ask Vic. So that's more white collar, consulting, business development, and I also
keep this?
yes, of course. And then I also do promotions, but I didn't feel that Ask Vic fit very well in promotions.
Why?
Because promotion is a little bit more relaxed, fun, to me, entertainment. So then I was playing around thinking, and I wanted, I work with Nacho Garcia, who used to be the artist for the El Paso Times. He's my artist for my logos. So we were
pretty cool.
talking, and I'm like, look, I go, you remember long time ago when that little stupid kid came out peeing on Chevy, Ford, remember on the back? I go, I want to be like that. I want a logo like that. And he goes, oh, I don't do that, man. I don't do that. Come on, I had to talk him into it. And I go, well, what do you want me to do? I know Ask Vic was your image. I go, yeah, I want Vago. What do you mean Vago? No, that's bad. And I go, no, Vago. When I was a kid, everybody said, no seas Vago. Pórtese bien.
Yeah.
So that's always has stuck in my head. And then my initials are VA and Go. So it's Victor Apodaca on the go and Vago because I am travieso.
All right.
I really am.
Wow, man, that's pretty interesting.
I unfortunately I get very deep in my life.
So tell us what does Vago Promotions promote?
Well, basically me right now. It's I'm a brand. So the concept is I was having problems getting clients because a lot of my business is theory, vision,
Okay.
ideas. So I figured if I can't sell myself, then I can't sell anything.
Oh, that's true.
So that's it. So basically, I'm just trying to become what I feel is a really important position in life now, is a social media influencer. So basically, I use social media to get people's reaction. I'm kind of like a magazine, cable channel, a movie theater, all wrapped into one. I use Facebook, Instagram, Twitter like that, okay? And I'm building up an audience. So, and I provide content.
Cool.
So that's why people are latching on to me. I honestly, when I started
This is new right now, right?
This is
You're
all
early.
new.
I just saw you recently.
June the 1st, right?
Wow.
June the 1st was our launch period.
And who do you have with you today?
This is my team member. This is Anel, and she's my agent. She consults me, helps me, because I can't do it all, dude. I mean, you know how it is. You got to hold a phone and talk, and you mess up all the time. And I need people like that. And
Okay,
she comes
welcome to the
she
gym.
comes up with great ideas. She did Taco Tuesday, as we do.
So Taco Tuesday was a golf tournament?
No, that was just a playoff on tacos. Anel went and
Oh,
she
okay.
decorated my whole house with tacos, and she made tacos, and we had.
So let me get this. So has people called you?
They don't call me. That's the funny thing. They make comments on my videos, and stuff like that. And so that's why I keep going.
I see you making a podcast of your own.
Oh, that's.
Am I going to be one of
Oh,
the guests?
yes.
All right.
Yes.
Hey, Ed said thank you for the shout out, and I'm happy to learn about Vago Promotions.
Well,
There's
thank you.
people already.
I was telling you, I have clients. I do try to help people, in Facebook. I also consult in regards to web pages, things like that.
Cool,
I've been doing, like I said, I've been doing this for 40 years.
Yeah, man.
I decided
You
money.
can talk.
I've been making. I've
You
been.
have a good.
Well, thank you. I've been making money for other people, so I guess I try and make money for me now.
That's good, man. That's
Yeah.
cool. Well, mate, you know what? Best of luck to you,
Well,
man.
thank you. I'm having fun.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty cool here, man. And I
Yeah.
know when you met this guy right here, Herman, you were gonna
I
hit
know.
it off.
I like-
Herman is our. It's you know, in our business here, we have a mix of coaches.
Sure.
You know, we have the mediator, the calm guy, and then we got to have the rough guy. And this guy right here is the one that puts the boots in people's butts, especially the boxing team, right? So we got to have that diversity when it comes to boxing. And
Well,
me and
yeah.
my wife are happy to have him, and Shay, which is his beautiful daughter. But this gym is built by family, and having people like him and pro fighter, it's diversity. So it's fun. He's our Vago here.
Well, that's great. But I twice in my life so far I've lived out of El Paso. One in 1987, went to South Texas, offered a job down there in Brownsville, McAllen,
Wow.
Harlingen.
South.
Yeah.
Got to take it
Yeah,
away.
where the hurricane hit. Oh, down there they tell you it's gonna blow a little, it's gonna rain a little. Yeah, right. And then recently in Amarillo, but you know what? El Paso is a beautiful place, beautiful people. There is a lot of good,
There's good people.
and here boxing, man. I agree with you. Why hasn't this town brought in the quality
talk about
sports?
it.
That
Right.
that bums me, man.
Yeah, and it used to. So, folks, there's the Vagos promotion. So let me ask you something. How concerned are you? You just for your business in the long term because of what's happened in the last 4 months, the uncertainty about when things came back to normal in your line of work.
I'm actually a promoter. I
Okay.
do lucha libre.
Okay.
I do concerts.
And
music.
speaking of Lucha Libre, Aldo Montes just started watching, and he is the golden voice of Lucha Libre.
Oh,
Aldo,
awesome,
hello?
awesome.
So, okay, continue. I'm sorry.
Saludos. And I work with Peter Gonzalez with Lucha Frontera.
Okay, so
and we're dead.
yes, it's the uncertainty.
No-
How do you know?
We don't.
How can you plan?
Well, you can't. And I've been calling around. Of course, all the venues here in El Paso, the Coliseum, the Civic Center, they're done. Yeah, I know friends that are promoters that have thousands of dollars in deposits tied up.
Man.
They're not giving them back. Oh no, we're rescheduled for next year. So you got guys, to put an event on. It's $20,000, $30,000, $50,000,
Yeah.
and that's money up front.
Yeah.
So you figure you got 3-4 events tied up. That's a lot of money. And me, I was just starting. It was not money tied up, but the fact that what I had planned is dead. I don't see anything happening till 2021. I mean, my goal was to El Paso, Silver City, Albuquerque, Santa Fe, Amarillo, Lubbock, Midland, Odessa, and there.
Yeah.
A little nice little circuit. Music, wrestling, events, dead.
Dead, right?
I was working with the Amarillo Tri-State Fair and Rodeo, and they asked me, hey, we're interested in putting together a one-day act Spanish, because there's a lot of people from Juarez and Chihuahua working on there, the meat plants. So I was working to get Little Joe there. Well then,
Wow, Little Joe.
Little Joe got COVID.
COVID, man.
He's doing really good, but then they canceled the fair in Amarillo. That's one of the largest income generators in that area.
Wow, man.
So
That
I mean,
is-
that's sad.
crazy, man.
I'm glad to see though that boxing is
Well-
is virtual, but kind of like the basketball, no audience.
No audience. I mean, and I mean, if the amateur world was tough already, right, Herman, for events, it's going to be worse.
It was-
But one of your Facebook interviews, I heard you talk about that you were involved in some type of promotions when Oscar de la Hoya visited the El Paso area, right?
Yes.
You also mentioned Golden Gloves. Can you tell us about those two things?
My wife, who passed away last year.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry to hear
Thank you.
that.
No. She had breast cancer, but she worked at Cali Q. She had worked there for 15 years. And she's a big De La Hoya fan. And, of course, Steve Kaplowitz, and she knows Brad
Yeah.
DeBow, all those guys. Well, we're big boxing, and that's when Oscar was, there were a lot of
Oscar
fights.
was
You'd go
the
see
man.
him. And I think he was fighting Barrela. I think. I can't remember. No, on TV. And we were looking, where do we go? So we went to the Marriott. And they had a real nice little sports bar there where they had actual little small TVs there at the bar, right on top. And then she goes, God, you know, because she always liked Howie Long.
Well, before he fought here and
yes, before. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm leading up to. So then she says, she goes, I'm going to meet Oscar de la Hoya one of these days. And I'm going, yeah, right. You know, husband, yeah, right. Son of a gun. 3 months later or something, they announce Oscar's coming to El Paso. I'm like, she calls me. She goes, hey, you. You remember when you said, yeah, right? Well, Oscar's coming to El Paso.
And she's from Cal.
And she's like, then, okay, so I'm like, okay. Then she calls me when it's coming down to time. When he came in, all the arrangements were done. The Wyndham was the official headquarters of Top Rank.
Yeah, it still is.
Okay.
Man.
Well, that's where they had to weigh in.
Wow.
Okay. They got her in. Steve Kaplowitz and Brad DeBoe from CaliQ got her in. She went and got her nails with Oscar de la Hoya with my sister-in-law. I mean, she was like, she was like fluttered. I had to drop her off. And then she showed me with her freaking, you know, that pass. Mira. I said, you know, Oscar. Son of a bitch. So I drop her off, and then I drove to track one, and I was having a beer, man. I'm like, and then she
left me for Oscar.
Oh, it gets better, dude. Then she calls me after the weigh-in, and she's like, I need a drink. Come pick me up. What the fuck? So I need a drink. I'm all hyper. And I go, okay. So we knew the GM at the Wyndham at the time. She goes, well, let's have a drink. And then it's like, the bar is closed, it's a restaurant. And it's like, hey, Jack, why is it closed? Oscar, guys, it's his place. He's got it reserved. And then there's this blonde musician, rock star kind of guy there on the side. And he's like, and he's heard my wife all excited about she got to meet Oscar and everything. And he goes, so you're a big Oscar de la Hoya fan? She goes, oh yeah. She goes, I'm dating Bob Arum's daughter, and I can get you in if you want. So she snuck us in, and we're at the bar. So everybody and all the VIPs are there, so cool. Bob Arum, and they're all there, and I'm like, shit, man, I'm drinking. And then Oscar shows up. You know, and he's like, dude, he had like fasted like for I don't know how long. He ordered like 3 pizzas.
This was after the fight?
After the weigh-in, before the fight.
Wow.
So right there, right after. So he was there. And then, so the guy dating Bob Arum's daughter, he told her, hey, no, this chick, man, she's all excited. Well, she says, okay, when Oscar comes in, we'll get him a photo. And my wife was like, she was like, shaking, dude. So then she wouldn't like freaking get with Oscar. Vámonos. But guess what she ended up doing?
What?
She goofed the son of a bitch, man.
She what?
She got his ass. She grabbed him.
What the?
Yeah. Oscar was like this, and I'm like, ooh.
What did Oscar do?
He just said, thank you, you know, and that was it. It was like a quick. And then, you know, move in, move out. You know, because there was a ton of girls there too.
Wow, man!
Dude.
That was a pretty good.
It was good, dude. And then we got to the fight. We went there. I worked at KBNA at the time. See, she worked at the Q. I worked at KBNA. So
you were not Matute.
No soy no Matute.
Are you serious?
I am positive.
Nobody met that guy, huh? Okay,
I'm still obligated under contract that I cannot divulge.
Okay, and then I'm sorry.
So then, remember how it was a windy, man? It was a really windy.
Yeah, it was windy. They had to bring down the light parts.
Freaking drop the lights.
Yeah, you'll see it right now.
Yeah, so we're in we saw them. You know, they walked right by us, but when they lowered the lights were right in our freaking face. We couldn't see.
Look, you can see the lights right there.
Yeah. It was blowing like crazy. You know, it wasn't a great fight, but I tell you what.
But it was great.
This town was hopping.
Yeah,
man.
you'll see right now.
This town was hopping.
Look at the crowd on this. Dude, look at the people here. If you see the crowd here.
I swear, that stadium, okay, the Sun Bowl, the capacity there is actually, if you feel it that way, with the floor, it's 100,000 people.
Wow, you'll see it right now.
The stadium
man.
was full. The floor was full. And then,
Look at that.
yeah,
Look.
okay, then you see that little tent over there?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
tent, that's where the champions. You got to meet all the champs. They brought in a shitload of boxers.
Oh my
Oh
God.
yeah, I was like, awesome.
What an event for El Paso, huh?
You know, and that's why I say we can do it.
I mean, and this, folks, on June 13th, as you can see, look at that. Look at those people.
Dude, there were people hanging from the freaking mountain.
Yeah, 1998 for Oscar de la Hoya headline one of the most memorable sporting events in El Paso history. The Golden Boy attracted more than 45,000 fans in the Sun Bowl to defend his welterweight title against unknown French fighter Patrick Charpentier. There's also been Chavez Jr. and Andy Lee for the middleweight. But let me ask you something, Vago. Why do you think that El Paso can't compete with larger markets like San Antonio, Houston, to name a few? Or can El Paso compete and be a force to be reckoned with in hosting major boxing events and also even the MMA? Because we've had smaller events, like 2 years ago we had PBC here, we had Devon Alexander, Victor Ortiz, but major events. The last time the Sun Bowl was like that was Chavez Jr. It didn't feel that much, but it was like you say, the hoopla. Why can't El Paso? You've been in media. You know the backstory. You know more than a lot of people. Why can El Paso cannot compete?
Well, one, it is location. Unfortunately, El Paso's not a big metroplex. Okay, you got San Antonio and it's fed in. You know, you got a ton of people. You got El Paso right now. If you look,
but Vago, you see the people.
they'll come. Build it and they'll come.
So
yes,
why does the media markets?
It's
can't. I don't
it's
know.
that, you know, when you start throwing. I used to travel a lot, national business, and I would tell people I'm from El Paso, and that was when the freaking drug wars were happening. The perception of what El Paso is not good. That's the problem.
Because of
but Mexico and just we're on the border. You know, it's to them it's out of the way. You know, and
Yeah, we're in the middle of nowhere.
We're in the middle of nowhere, and always bad things happen down there. And we can win all the safest and beautiful awards of El Paso, you know, and no, you know, no pasa. The other thing is, though, I think it's just it's all money. Unfortunately, money. Now we got a good Godfather, Paul Foster.
Okay.
All right, he's making things happen.
But it isn't like boxing.
No, well, maybe he doesn't like boxing, but he can bring venues.
Who has he brought?
No. I know. I'm not saying him. Maybe he's not a boxing guy.
No, but overall, what has he done?
Well, he brought the Chihuahuas, which is good because the baseball was dead
Dave
in El
Hunt had
Paso.
opportunity to fight there. Huh?
He charged a lot of money, man.
Well,
Did he?
Holy
Well, I don't
shit!
know.
I thought he
yeah.
was a promoter.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, there was. Okay, what else?
you know, that's the thing is, one thing is we don't have the main venue. You can't, you know, when you do an event outdoors, you're taking a big chance. Look at this one, the wind.
Yeah,
okay,
you're right.
What if it
You're right,
rains?
you're
So
right.
you're rolling the dice, number one.
Okay.
So the venue that we have, the biggest venue we have here is Haskins Center. Okay, that's 18,000 people.
Okay.
If that's like basketball style, you go to our concert there, it's cut. You're losing a big percentage of the seating.
Yeah, you're right.
So boxing, it does. I saw David Rodriguez
Hey, so
there.
let me ask you a question. And I mean, why do you think the major concerts like Garth Brooks, George Strait only go to NMSU? Is it because of the venue is bigger?
No,
Okay, tell us. I've never known why they don't.
you're not going to believe what I'm going to tell you.
And I know you're going to tell us.
It's travel, the highway they use. Okay, I-10 is a very highly traveled freeway, you know, in the United States. I-40 though, which goes through Oklahoma.
Coming down from Albuquerque. You mean?
Exactly.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes, they go right through the middle of the country. Very little. I-10 goes
Go down.
down, you know, Val Barrio.
You know what? It kind of makes sense.
Dude, I studied this shit in my mind. I asked, why? And one
Because El
promoter,
Paso's beautiful.
one promoter told me, they don't go I-10, they go I-40. I'm like,
Wow.
okay.
Wow.
So that's why Vago is trying to get into Albuquerque.
Wow. Well, you know what? Alan Jackson took a right-hand turn and came to El Paso.
Hey.
That was the last concert. It was for my wife's birthday, and we took her to Alan Jackson.
But they're possible. But here's the thing: like concerts, but even events, they will do those large events in Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays in large markets.
Okay.
That's why we get
Wednesday, Thursday.
Thursday, Tuesday. Wow. Yeah, exactly.
I remember when George Strait came, and it was on a Saturday, and it was windy that they canceled it.
Yeah.
Because the stage was going to fall.
I saw him in. Actually, this is a funny story. I saw him in Las Cruces while we were camping out for tickets for U2.
And you saw him?
Yeah, because they let us go use the bathroom.
Wow, man. So yeah. So then it's the travel, it's the road that just leads us. I mean, nowhere.
Yeah, it's the road, but you know.
I mean, because you know what, like MMA's had big fights too, and you know what, in El Paso. Let me ask you. So it's what you said, and it makes a lot of sense, tons of sense. But I mean,
it takes backers too, money.
But you know what?
Yeah,
Juarez, El Paso. I mean, we have the people, man. I mean,
that's
like
why
even MMA has never had a big card here.
Anytime you do lucha libre or you do boxing in this town, they will show up. 60 to 70% of the attendance will be from Juarez. Oh. That's the true boxing. That's the true wrestling fan, dude. I grew up by the Coliseum. All right, my grandmother would take me to Lucha Libre every Monday.
Wow.
Gory Guerrero, all those guys, the Funks and everything. Then I had the fortune, I tell you, I went to Jeff. But then the Guerreros went to Jeff.
Yeah.
Salvador Guerrero was my teacher in high school.
Was he a wrestling coach?
He was the wrestling coach. That was right after he wrestled for Mexico in '68 in the Olympics. Yeah. So he was a wrestling coach.
So you know Sin Cara.
I have not met Sin Cara.
He was here on the show, remember?
I knew my friend.
But he
Peter.
talked about Salvador.
Yes.
I guess he went to Jeff, no?
Yes, and he taught. He went, and then Eddie went to Burgess.
He went to Burgess.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Burgess had one of the stronger wrestling teams in
that's
this.
Where he comes out.
Eastwood, had Rick Ortega over there.
Eastwood, Burgess, and Jeff and Bowie, man. I mean, I was a student trainer in high school, so I did football, basketball.
That's what my son does.
Hey, let me tell you, I got in free.
Yeah, we had Coach Borkwin, man.
Yeah,
that was a good guy.
Yeah.
Wow, man. So, well, I mean, like you said, man. I mean, we get people from Juarez, but people always say, why? Why don't we have the big shows again? It's proven fact that people will come. Yep. But you're right. I mean, even the big events, and we are thirsty for a big event, Vago. So.
I hope to. I mean,
get to it.
We are. I mean, I'm determined to do lucha. I love lucha. You know, lucha libre, lucha frontera puts on a good show.
He just Aldo said saludos. Lucha frontera rocks.
Yes, they do. I saw them.
Whenever you need an announcer, Aldo Montes is awesome.
We've been working, and yes, we'll talk. Hablamos.
Aldo, there it is, buddy.
You know, mándame algo en Messenger, whatever.
All right,
I'm
he's
there.
The man.
Great. We'll
man.
hook him up. We try to do like the virtual thing. Me and Peter, we talk every day. What's going on? I mean, we're hungry. We're bored.
We're bored.
We're bored. So I said, why don't we do a virtual? But we need money, and the problem is the wrestlers don't want to wrestle though right now. Some of them have gotten sick.
Yeah, of course.
See, that's the problem.
That's a big.
And then a lot of them come from Mexico and they can't cross.
They can't cross.
You know,
exactly.
So,
that uncertainty. This pandemic really hit us hard. Who would have ever thought?
Well, I have a good friend that he's the partner with Powerball Bats, and he works for one of the largest hospital networks here. And I asked him, because we talked, how long do you think we're going to be wearing masks? That's the new thing.
Well, that's the forever, huh?
And my opinion, Anel said maybe a year. I said no, 2-3 years. And my buddy, we asked him. I said, you work in the hospital. What do you think? He says, for sure, the end of this year. But let's see. I said, but he's like 1 or 2 years. Look up pandemics.
Wow.
Look up pandemics that have happened in the world. And they don't go away. It's not a quick fix, fix. And then this we say it's not airborne. It is. It don't touch.
Don't touch
and
this.
it
Don't
is.
look at me.
I'm like,
So you went to Jeff, and you know these high schools are rich in wrestling.
Yes.
Do you think that boxing should be in our high schools?
I do. I see it in the Boys and Girls Club. We're in the rec centers. Why not?
Why not? Let me ask you. Why
I think
not?
it's the liability cost.
Well, what about football? It's even worse.
True. I was a trainer, so I can tell you.
You were a trainer. That's
I see-
it was
I see
perfect to ask you that question.
One of my buddies got helmet to helmet before they changed all the rules, and we were playing at our home stadium, Bowie. Jeff never. When I went to school, Jeff didn't have a stadium. So my buddy, man, he'd like whack and run out there, and you had those ammonia caps, man.
Yeah.
And I get there, man, I could see his eyes were like slot machines, dude. It was like, and I pop one of those suckers, and I'm like, "What are they, Rudy?" And it took me 3 until he came around, and I go, "How many fingers?" 5. Okay, sit down, boo. I mean,
Well, I mean, and you know what? In the sake of boxing, it'll bring so many kids to the gyms. You know, putting boxing in a pilot program of 4 high schools to introduce this type of sweet science. It's not all about brutality,
No.
because even wrestling is hardcore.
but it's hard, and there's a lot.
Broken bones,
There was a
litter
lot of
injuries.
injuries. I handled more injuries, harder injuries to heal.
Long-term injuries, huh?
In wrestling than in football.
Wow.
Okay, now why I agree with you. You got the Olympics.
And
You
that's
got
boxing.
you got the
Headgear.
helmet, headgear, and everything. Why can't they go by those rules?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, is it because maybe nobody started it, or no, we haven't had talks about it, or because you just said it, boxing is rich in El Paso. I mean,
It is.
So why hasn't
Hell,
it been
they
introduced?
they have even mariachi groups in band.
Yeah, I mean, why not
Why
boxing?
not?
Right?
That's culture.
Exactly.
This boxing is a Mexican culture. Who are the hardest boxers? Who by like I hear it.
Vagos-
I hear it in the announcers when they go pound for pound. They're all Mexican boxers. They have the heart. They have the drive.
We've
They got
always
the
known
rock.
as that.
They're like the fighters. They're like the warriors of boxing.
Gut and blood.
Exactly.
Gut and blood.
You know, and it's
Yeah.
always like, man, he's a Mexican boxer equal. You know.
Well, and
He-
you know what? And you know what happens in boxing is that when Canelo came in right after the Juan Manuel Marquez's that fought straightforward, Eric Morales, Marco Antonio Barrera, and we didn't Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. So we wanted to see that, and Canelo was more finesse,
Yeah,
not
well,
straightforward.
I think he
and
wanted
that's
to
why,
be like an Oscar. Oscar was a finesse kind of guy too.
yeah, but he was a straightforward too. I like Oscar. Man.
You know, but you know, I think Canelo's he
So-
built his own bad rap.
Who's your all-time Mexican fighter? Name me one.
I can't name you one. That's my problem.
Okay, top 3.
Okay, Mexican.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Or Mexican descent. Oscar can be one.
I mean, I
don't
like
know.
Cesar Chavez, man. Was a
Okay,
hell of a
everybody- yeah.
fight. I mean, I saw him. I mean,
Don't
there
forget
was-
Roberto Duran.
Roberto Duran was Mexican. I got to see him here in El Paso. He came.
Tell us that.
My wife worked at when they did the. Remember they used to do the sports expos,
Yeah.
and they didn't
Sunland Park.
What
Southern
happened to
Park.
the Sports Expo?
money.
That was awesome, man.
Money, you know, people got bored, you know.
Bored?
and then it was expensive to bring athletes to sign.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what people want to do. You know, they want the celebrityism, the joy of seeing a pro guy.
Yeah, like Jay Novacek. They brought in
They Jay Novacek. They brought in Haley. They brought in Pete Rose.
Wow.
They brought in Curly. They brought in the Globetrotters.
So you're right, man. That's a lot of money, huh?
It's a lot of money.
Yeah, the
You got to
Sports
put
Expo
them
went
up,
away.
dude. You got when Roberto Duran came. They put him up at the Camino. He had to have the presidential suite.
Wow.
And then he had. I mean, dude.
Wow.
They're kings.
Yeah, they're kings, man. So that happened. So, what is your take, Vagos, on the politics and sports? Okay, for example, players kneeling during the anthem, or sports athletes using their status as a platform to voice their concerns.
I'm for it, but there's rules, dude. I'm old school. I had corporal punishment. Yo era vago, acuérdate. So in my opinion, hey, we live in America, the land of the free. we get to talk and say whatever we want.
And that's why
that's what the
that's
beauty
what
thing.
beauty.
But then again, when it then starts offending people, you start doing it where you twist it to say a political thing. You try to be nice. Okay, I agree. Black people, whatever races are mistreated. Yes, but don't use it in a sporting event to make it a political event.
That's what I agree.
I agree. So football. Okay, either you all kneel or you all stand.
But then now you got a bunch of pendejos that don't even about life. They're still in high school or in college, and they're gonna tell you we're oppressed, we're this. What do you know about life at that age, man? All they know is what they see on TV and what they hear on the radio. That's the way I look at it.
It's jumping the bandwagon.
Yeah,
jump in the bandwagon.
All bandwagon.
And you're right. I mean, I'm all for people expressing their opinions. That's awesome, man.
That's why we
But
live in
don't do
America,
it. Don't
United
do it.
States.
Don't do it on a sports platform, man.
Dude, I remember the '68 Olympics. I was a kid, and it was in black and white. I had a black and white TV.
And you were the remote.
And I was the remote. But you remember the track team when the guy with the
Tommy Smith.
I'm like, I thought it was cool.
Hey, so
I didn't know what the hell it meant.
Okay, so here's interesting too. Somebody just commented. Okay, so what's the difference when Tim Tebow kneeled for not for a race? It was for
I know, for religion.
For religion.
I know, dude. That's what I mean. Everybody is doing things for their own.
No, but that was back then, and nobody made a big deal about it
because it's religion. You see, there's the fine line, religion. There's things that we talk about that are going to cause reactions. Mm-hmm. You post food, you post dogs, you post drinking, you post partying, you post a pretty woman. The same thing,
Yeah.
You post something religious. It's just, I don't know.
It's hard.
It's not. It's difficult. There's not a right answer. And I've had conversations with people, and no vas a ganar.
Yeah, I know you.
You can talk to your blue, and you even give in, and you give concessions, and still they're like, no.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's like when the Houston Astros all kneeled, or the basketball players had the Black Lives Matter, and you know what? Me being law enforcement, it's tough, man. It's tough to see that because. It's tough, man. I mean,
I've avoided,
but I'm going back to the sports, right?
Yeah, I've avoided.
What happens in boxing if that happens? It hasn't happened yet,
Well, what do they do? The only thing they do in boxing is the national anthem, right? That's about the only thing, and then the rules.
What they said is that they actually stopped him and asked him to stop doing it. And how come they don't do that now? He didn't ask me that. He didn't.
I don't have the answer.
He just said that they actually stopped him and asked him to stop doing it. But I'm saying, how come they don't tell people stop doing it?
Well,
this was Jaime Palacios. He's a partner of mine at the sheriff's office.
Well, the thing is, I mean, my understanding with football,
I didn't mean to call you.
No, don't worry.
Sorry, buddy.
But anyway, I mean, I just think that they all have to come to a consensus and what to do.
So I know you're a Cowboy fan.
Oh yeah,
I saw your
time.
wallet.
Yeah.
But what about the Washington Redskins? Was that stupid, man, or what?
Are you going to change everybody? You're going to say the Atlanta Braves, the Cleveland Indians.
What is the difference there? Why is that stupid? Why is that stupid and not Black Lives Matter?
It's stupid because people have latched on to an opportunity and they to change something.
Yeah. Los Cowboys, bro, because they used to kill Indians.
I know.
Yeah.
But no, the Cowboys don't kill anybody.
Yeah,
that's what I hear. That's what I did tell you.
You're right. Yeah, no shit, man. So, I mean, and it's a touchy issue, you know what I mean? But we're talking into the sports world, and why? I mean, just tell them to stop doing it. But
dude,
no,
you know what? I've seen. Okay, I'm also Vago. I wear a lot of hats. I also do Town Talk Sports. We broadcast high school sports via an app, and I love to see. I've seen when in college and in high school, the team goes out. They hold like arms in arm. That's unity. Here's kids in sports,
Yeah.
and they're doing better things than the freaking pros.
Yeah.
The
because they're prima donnas. They're millionaires.
Prima donnas. You got what? There's what 11 players on the or 9. How many? You got 9 millionaires that all want to do the different thing. You know,
Yeah,
I agree.
you're right.
It's all. Yeah.
I mean, I know, and I've discussed it with people. Well, they want to use their platform. Well, they should have become politicians.
Hey, they got a platform.
Right.
You know, use it.
Play
They got
football,
the
man.
money. No,
They
they
got
can.
money.
No, you do your own. Put a platform. There's a lot of them. Do a foundation.
Do a foundation.
If you want to
protest.
make noise,
You're right.
make some nice noise.
Not in. You good? I like that. Not in the playing field.
Exactly.
You're gonna lose fans.
Exactly.
Like that NASCAR.
That-
Lost a lot of fans.
Oh God.
I mean,
that's a lot of money, man.
that's a lot of sponsors.
They
might not
weren't
even sign them.
they weren't even making it, dude. NASCAR was struggling,
And they're
this
gonna
is a
struggle
bigger
more.
hit now.
A bigger
yeah.
So now they're just hoping this brings some ethnicity into the damn sport. Maybe we get some money back. You know?
Imagine that, man.
Oh yeah.
I know that the baseball, they just had Thursday night baseball today. That the Houston Astros and I believe it was the Diamondbacks. I'm not sure, but they took a hit too on the ratings, and basketball took a major hit on the ratings too, like catastrophe levels. Because nobody's watching, man. I mean, a lot of people said, "No, man, you shouldn't bring the politics into the playing field, man. Go do it like you say,
That's true.
a foundation. Go do something positive, nice."
They have
Like-
the opportunity. Leagues have the opportunity.
Of course, man. But it's not happening at a time right now, folks. That man, we need to come back to normality. We need to come together. This shit happens.
Yep.
I mean, fuck, man. But man, Vago, it's been a pleasure having you.
I'm
man.
having fun. This is a blast. This was like on last Tuesday. We
So-
were on for an hour, and it's like,
I
we
mean,
got
we're already past our. They're
I know.
already telling me, hey, you're out. But let me tell you, man, it was fun having you, man. You're real energetic.
Hey, thank you.
And I wish you the best for your promotions.
No.
And if we could be of any help,
We are.
Commercial- I mean, or you could have
Vago wants to talk to you afterwards.
Good,
Like Vago's
good,
got
yeah.
some ideas.
we do a big promotions called the Clash of the Titans.
Is that the one? Okay, I used to help the
Battle of the
Battle of the
Badges.
Batches.
Yeah, that
yeah.
went. It was only
Chris
3 years.
Acosta, you know, with the sheriff.
Chris Acosta's my,
Yeah.
she works from. I work for the sheriff's office. 23 years.
That's right. Okay, so
we started the Clash of
Yeah.
the Titans. I started it,
Yeah.
and we're in our 10th year. We're going to go to 11th year. Of course, we didn't have one this year.
yeah,
But you know,
love to help you. I've done it
so
before.
we're ready
Count
to go.
On me. Count
I mean,
on
not
me.
only that, we're gonna have also we want to have some events here at our gym. We want to help out. So we got a lot of things brewing. We also sponsor a race car. We want to say Brandon Shure for the World of Outlaws. The Warriors Edge Boxing is on their car, ready to go for the 2021 season. We did the 2019 season or into 2020, so we sponsor a car too. So we
In
have
Vado?
in Vado, New Mexico.
I love it.
Hey,
I haven't
shout
got
out to Brandon Shure. Go Brandon! So we want to have the car out here at the gym pretty soon, and we're gonna have a lunch.
Right.
We're gonna have a lunch on a Saturday, a 3-hour cookout for all my first responder friends. For their lunch, they're gonna stop by.
Any way
They're
I
gonna
can
get
help.
a free plate because you know what, folks, all my buddies, thanks for what you do, man. We're out there 24/7. We're all not all bad. 99%
no.
are all bad. We're out there
you know what,
busting our
that's-
asses, man.
here,
and the safe city is because of those
Hey,
departments.
badges matter. That's all I
Badges
get.
matter,
Hey,
so-
next time you need help, call somebody else.
Yeah, yeah. You're getting raped, they're gonna tell you,
That's
I'm
right,
sorry,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah.
But
I even tell them, you're going to give me a ticket, thank you.
so yeah, man, you know, these men and women that work inside the correctional
Yeah,
setting, I mean, they go unheard, man. These unsung heroes and our deputies out there in our PD. So we're gonna have a lunch for them, and it's gonna be decided when they're
I
on
have an
shift.
idea that I want to talk to you about.
And I want them to
afterwards.
come in and eat free plate for them.
Right.
So also our doctors and our nurses, man.
Yes.
Thank you for all you do, man.
Everybody.
Thank you. So
We all got to be friendly. We got to
Yeah.
be nice. Take a breath, and just have fun, man.
yeah, have fun, man. I mean, life is so short.
Yes, it is.
So Vago, you ready to play rapid fire?
Yeah, I'm waiting for this one.
All right, this is going to be cool, man. All right,
Okay.
so we always do rapid fire, folks, to close our show. And today we're going to do it with Victor Apodaca, Vago. I think it's going to be interesting because they're not all boxing questions, okay?
That's good. Okay.
So, folks,
All right.
don't forget that the Web Boxing Podcast is going. We're already over 20 minutes.
It's
but
overtime.
It's been fun.
It's overtime.
It's overtime
Overtime.
with Vago Apodaca. All right.
right.
So here we go.
I'm ready.
Here we go. Best thing about El Paso.
The people.
The people. Wow, man. Worst thing about El Paso.
The weather. The
Weather?
cold weather. I don't like the cold weather.
Cold.
The desert. I mean, I like
It's
rain.
not even cold.
Well, no, when it is cold.
Really?
I hate cold.
Shit, man.
I hate cold.
I hate
cold. I hate jackets.
Really?
Yeah, I hate
can't
to-
wait till it gets cold.
No. And then you hit a freaking golf ball. It's like hitting a rock. Anyway.
Oh, so you're a big golfer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
Chicano
learning.
Tiger Woods.
I'm barely learning. Top golf, is that good?
Yes, yes.
Really?
Well,
I don't- my
wanna-
son goes to
I
golf.
want to invite you, and we'll have some fun.
All right. Hey, did you hear that, Louis? He's going to invite me. Getting my son goes
Hey,
to
I play
golfer.
3 times a week.
We don't know. He knows how to play. I
Not a
don't.
problem. You just get the mechanics down, and then the rest
Oh,
comes.
man.
natural.
You know how hard that is? I'm going to dig a hole
It's
before
like,
I hit the fucking
dude,
ball.
it's like, okay, were you? It's like boxing, man. You gotta
Hell
be
no.
yeah.
I'm like digging a hole, man. You're going to laugh at
Te
me.
voy a decir el bazooka.
Bazooka tree, man. Shit, man. Best boxing movie.
Best boxing movie, The Champ.
The Champ with who?
It's with yeah,
John Boyd. That's
John
what
Boyd.
I
It
told
made
you.
me cry
That's
with the little boy Ricky.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it made me
Champ.
cry.
There you go.
Right with that.
Yeah.
All right, how about the best golf course in El Paso?
The best golf course.
And the theme of the rapid fire today, folks, is El Paso.
Best right now is it's I call it El Paso. It's Horizon. Horizon has the best course.
Horizon. Okay, here's my other question. Not in the rapid fire, but is Butterfield Trail going out of business?
No, it's suspended. The city owns it, but it was under the auspices of the airport, and the airport got in a hole. So it's basically the city's
So
responsibility.
are they still keeping it up?
They're watering just the greens. It's ugly.
I live by Vista Hills Country Club,
Oh, that's another one.
and it's going to shit.
It's in bankruptcy court.
Yeah, nobody's they're watering it.
They only water the greens. The greens are the most expensive.
Oh,
You see, it's
okay,
easy
I
to
didn't know that.
the fairways you can come back, but the greens are more expensive. Yeah.
Okay, favorite ride at Western Playland?
Bandido.
Yeah, the Bandito. It's still out there, man.
Yeah,
I thought you were gonna say the Himalaya.
No, I don't like it. No,
I used to like the
that-
haunted
that-
house.
Himalaya because of the music.
Remember that view slide?
Quiet ride. Yeah, it was
you
next to
did.
the.
Potato slide?
the potato slide, but they also had it at Bassett Center. ¿Te acuerdas?
It was next to the. It was next to the Himalaya. It was
Yeah.
a quiet riot.
The quiet
Come
ride.
on,
Yeah.
Okay, and this is. I know this is gonna be hard for you. You
All
ready?
right, all right.
Chico's or Frisco Sticks? Because I know you've been to both places. I
Okay, look,
researched
okay,
you.
all right. Here's the problem.
Oh man,
I grew up on
Rapid
Chico's.
Fire. 10,
Remember-
9,
remember.
8, 7, 6.
Frisco Sticks right now. Chingo. I know. Hey, I grew up on Chico's 2 blocks.
Man,
my
you're
mom
gonna
used to
disown
give us.
Chico's tacos.
I'm
man.
sorry,
Why?
bro. Mora, I'm sorry. You know what?
Can we bring the Chico's tacos?
Number one is that freaking new boat. It sucks.
What, oh,
the holder, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
The cheese? Come on. He should have stocked up when they were giving out the free cheese.
what's wrong with the cheese?
It's not the same. I don't. It's not. It's
I
not.
haven't had Chico's in years.
I don't think it's.
You don't like Chico's, right?
I don't think it's as fake as it used to be.
Frisco's
the brown box.
Yeah, remember? It's like, man, it was like what the K rations.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I'm telling you.
Frisco's is good.
Frisco's
hell
is
yeah.
damn good, dude.
That's the best.
Hijo, man. And then with
The district has good stuff
The
too.
Yeah.
yes,
chili.
And you know who's gasoline raised dive on Donovan?
They have the Chico's too.
They have some. Everybody has Chicos, but they put.
But I like Chico's tacos.
Nah, I know. That's yeah.
I
Still,
do-
we went. We
Their
got some
price
the other
is
day.
ridiculous though, man.
Yeah,
I
we should
know.
have them. We should have them have here for the
Not only-
podcast.
I used a kid when they had the shack and they had the picnic table and
Where?
the at Washington Park.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Before
yeah.
No, that's the modern. What they have there is
Wow.
modern. No, so my mom would give us $1 each, 4 boys. Go eat we go in our bikes or walking.
That was awesome, man.
So we go $1, a double, a jumbo cheeseburger, an order of fries, and a large Coke, and I had change. Now I can't even get one fry.
Hey, you know that Chico's Tacos there? They still have a payphone out there.
yes,
still there.
it's still there.
still there.
That's
I
what I
told
tell
my
you.
boys last time, take a picture.
Take-
Why? That just stay there. It's like a monument. And
Dude,
they're like, what the
it-
fuck are you talking about? And we
They
and
probably
Louis
don't.
and Danny are like, what the fuck? Just stay there.
Does
You'll
it
thank
work?
me later.
Does it
No,
work?
he goes, what is this?
Yeah,
What
I know.
is it?
Yeah, it's still there.
I know.
And you know what? They shouldn't tear it down. They should keep it there,
I
man.
tell you, man.
That's iconic.
I do.
If you were president for one day,
All right.
what would you change or do? For
What would I
day,
change or
Vago?
do? I would make it tacos as the national food.
So I guess your favorite food is tacos?
Yes, I love
Okay, what
tacos.
about the best, well, besides those Chico's tacos, the best Mexican tacos?
This girl's.
Oh, you make tacos?
Yes. You better. Yes.
Oh,
and
yeah,
then,
you
and then
Fiji.
tacos. Hey, I did Taco Tuesday. You didn't see? We did a whole Taco Tuesday thing.
All right, I'm going to catch
Yeah,
up on that. El Paso Chihuahuas or El Paso what? What would you rather be calling it? Did you pick the Chihuahuas?
No,
Okay, what was it?
I actually wanted them to name them.
Paso Vagos?
No, the Sun Kings. The old
The
Sun. They should
old
have
Sun.
brought in the old Sun Kings at the original Dudley Field.
Dudley Field,
over there by the Coliseum. I lived there, 2 blocks
Where
away.
the Lions are at.
Yeah, where the Lions.
The
And
Diablos.
then I even grew
Yeah,
up
that little
with
baseball
Paul
bat.
Strausen. When
Yeah.
you would open the dome,
Strausen.
yeah, that
10
Sun
cents
King.
hot dogs,
The
remember?
Tex- hey,
Yeah.
Oh, so
5-cent hot dogs, and
Herman,
then
what do you think? El Paso what? What would it be the name?
I used to lean towards that Mud Dogs.
Yeah, because you know what? It's AAA baseball has interesting
Crazy
names.
names.
I like the El Paso Smokestacks.
okay. Here's the
That
thing.
was
I was in
pretty cool.
Amarillo recently,
Smokestack, that's
2
pretty
years,
cool.
Yeah,
and they
we
went.
had a smokestack. Remember?
They went through the same thing, of naming a baseball team and everything. They got San Antonio's AA team.
Which is the Missions.
Correct. And then they weren't going to name the
There's
Missions.
still the Missions there, or no?
No, I don't know.
Those are the San Diego Padres AA.
Correct.
But it's not the Missions. You're
Not
right.
the Missions. So Amarillo get it. So they had a contest. Guess what they freaking ended up calling them?
Amarillo what?
Sod Poodles.
What?
Sod Poodles.
What the hell's a sod poodle?
A gopher.
Really?
Yes.
Well, because that's the names for the AAA. They
Triple
gotta
A,
have those.
they have crazy names.
Crazy
I've seen
names.
some in Florida. They're called the Wahoos.
Yeah.
I go
Also
Wahoos, and they have a special
the tin cups.
the tin cups.
Yeah, the air hogs when
Yeah.
the El Paso Diablos was in the independent league. Tin cups, that's some crazy names, man. But Chihuahuas, I didn't really like.
But
the
you
name.
know what? It's
Smokestacks.
rubbed off. It's
Yeah, of
working.
course.
You
Of
know,
course.
but it's market. It's all marketing.
It's all marketing, and it markets to all that dog. Last question for Vago. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mexican restaurant in El Paso.
The Mexican restaurant.
Like the Ohio State. The
Yeah, I know.
Mexican restaurant in El
Man,
Paso.
I'm gonna get into trouble on this.
Go
because
ahead.
The Mexican. For what kind of
Mexican.
food? Mexican.
Hey, hello, I'm from upstate New
I
York.
know,
Can you
yeah.
recommend me a Mexican restaurant? I mean, enchiladas.
My mom's place. No, my grandma's place. That's really.
Besides home cooking.
No, I'm gonna throw a couple. All right, that I like.
No, one. Come on, Vago. No, it's going to be hard.
Al and
Rapid
J.
fire.
I'm sorry, Al and J.
Al and J.
I know.
Herman, what do
I'm
you
a
think?
Good Luck Cafe on Alameda.
But it depends on which order. I like the steak tacos at Al and J. I like the menudo at the Good Luck Cafe. But you know what they have also do? The best caldo de res. Man,
At where?
at the Good Luck.
Good
man.
Luck.
I go to Jacalito. I go to.
There's a lot,
huh? But there's a lot.
Oh,
me have a 31.
tacos Chinampa, Don Cuco. I mean, El Paso.
Yeah.
It's the.
That's why it was a hard question.
Yeah,
Rapid
man.
fire with
Yeah.
Vago being presented by The Healthy Start, Carlos and Ella. Thank you for the snacks today. Vago, it's been a pleasure, man.
I loved it, man.
It was great. I'm going to talk to you about the bats off air right now.
Yeah.
I got a question about that.
Sure.
But it's been a pleasure, folks, to have you on the show with us. Vago, it's been a pleasure. The best of luck with Vago Promotions. We tell all our guests, you're our 48th guest. You'll always have a home here with us.
Thank you.
Anything you want to do something in our gym, commercial shoots, he does all that as well. Come out here and do something with us.
I got some
man.
ideas.
All right,
I'm
so-
the crazy, like I said, I'm the crazy guy on
Yeah,
Facebook. But
so-
I want to also extend, once I get my podcasting going and live, I got my own YouTube channel. I just haven't done stuff.
All right.
I want you guys to be my guests.
All right.
All right.
The first guest.
Yes.
Hey, folks.
You'll
and
be
so-
number one, not 48.
Well, I just met you, man.
I know,
so
I
you're
know.
the 48th.
Yeah, no, 48 's a good number.
Let me ask you a question. Vago, anything you want to say last before we go off air?
No,
And
just
face the camera there.
Guys, just be safe. Be nice to each other. Wear your mask. Wash your hands. And vamos!
And folks, that's been the show. And he does have a mask, but we're 6 feet. Folks, this has been a show. In closing tonight, we just want to say good luck to everybody this week. Have a safe one. Stay safe. To all my brothers in blue and gray and brown out there, stay safe. and anything you do in life, put God first. This has been our podcast. Herman, have a good
prayer
one.
for our Marines and our sailor that we lost out in San Diego.
Yeah.
Five, four, three, two, one, zero.